Hello friends, welcome back to my session. So today we're going to discuss on the topic that is AI test data generation, and we will going to generate 1000 test data in seconds using AI. So what if I tell you can generate 1000 test data records in just seconds? No Excel headache, no manual typing, no copy paste madness, and today I will show you how to use AI to create realistic QA test data like a pro. So today we will be learning one of the most practical QA skills, AI test data generation, and not just theory. We'll use AI plus real website example to generate massive test data instantly. So we'll be going to use the real example of SauceDemo checkout. So using SauceDemo, first let's understand its concept. So first understand this. Test data is basically the input used for testing. For example, names, emails, passwords, postal codes, phone numbers. Without data, testing actually is impossible without data. So we find some real problem in projects. So real companies need hundreds of users, multiple countries, valid, invalid data, edge cases. Creating manually means huge time waste, human mistakes, repeated data. This is where AI becomes super powerful. So now let's test the checkout flow in SauceDemo. So checkout page, okay, let me quickly show you. So I'm just gonna open the saucedemo.com, and I'm just gonna give username and this password. So you can add some okay, let me add one more here, add to cart. And then when you go to this cart, so you could see here it's asking for first name, last name, postal code. Now imagine you need 1000 combinations for testing. Fine. So just go here, you click on checkout, you will see first name, last name, zip, postal code, and if I need 1000 combinations for this for testing, so that is actually manually very difficult. So let's quickly open the chatgpt.com, and we just give one prompt here, that is generate 1000 realistic checkout test data combinations. Okay, generate 1000 realistic checkout test data combinations including first name, last name, and postal code, and just give here include valid, invalid, edge, special character, what more, blank, and international scenarios in table format. And you can just also mention the website name as SauceDemo, and you can mention checkout scenario. Fine. Now you can just give this prompt, and actually this is very powerful prompt here. So now you could see here AI can actually instantly just generated some data. So it just gave me sample of 1000 realistic test data combinations. So you could see here test case ID with first name, last name, postal code, scenario, and an expected result. So if you see here, it gave me the full list, right? So this pattern used to create, I mean this, it's just showing us this pattern, the same pattern can be used to create remaining 950 plus combinations. So the remaining combinations should, it's showing me right now, it should systematically vary. First name variations with the normal names, the single characters, long names, numeric names, with some emojis, SQL injections, payloads, HTML tags, Unicode characters. So you could see here. Then it is showing me some last name variations with some postal code variations. And it's also showing us the high value edge cases. Fine. And it's also giving me some recommended automation strategy. So team, you can try in this way. So if you want to try in this real website, that is SauceDemo.com. So you can try with this data with the first name, last name. Okay, then you can add a product to the cart as you could see here. And after that, you can just click on the checkout and you just come to the checkout summary. And then you can use this AI test generated data. So if we check its real QA insight, fine. So most beginners generate only normal data, but top QA engineers generate invalid data, boundary data, international data, security test data, and Unicode characters. This is actually the real world testing. And if we talk about some advanced thinking, which can also be very productive during your interview. So now think like top QA engineers. AI should generate positive scenarios, negative scenarios, edge cases, SQL injection inputs, long strings, null values. For example, like you can give like or with 1 is equal to 1, or very long name with 1 2 3 4 5, somewhat like this with some emojis, as we saw in our prompt. When we gave the prompt, we saw in the solution, and this reveals the real bugs. So the pro tip is always remember, good testing depends on good test data, and if you have a weak data, then it will be actually a weak testing. So AI helps create large scale diverse realistic data in seconds. Now if we think from an automation level, so SDET level, so now just imagine automation. Instead of hard coding data, use CSV generated by AI, or you can use a JSON data sets, some dynamic fake data, then run 1000 tests automatically. This is actually the real scalable automation. So now I'm just giving you one powerful prompt. You can just give this, like generate realistic test data for checkout forms including positive, negative, edge, international, security, null, boundary, and special characteristic scenarios in structured table format. And this is actually a gold. So common mistakes, big mistake which actually beginners make: generate only valid data, reuse same data repeatedly, and trusting AI blindly. And the result is bug is still going to be survive in production. So just at a closing end team, today you learned how you can perform the testing by using test data which is being generated using AI in a real website testing, how massive AI test data generation can be done with a real QA thinking. This is what companies are expecting right now. So I hope you liked this session, you understood this session, and you really enjoyed, and you will be going to implement in your real-time projects. So if you want more such videos, do subscribe my channel and stay tuned for more upcoming sessions. Thank you everyone.